Will be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Buffalo Bills. And we are underway in Buffalo. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Hurts throwing right away. And that's out to the flat for Swift. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
First carry for DeAndre Swift. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
13 yards and an Eagle first down.
A quick throw here out to Brown. So the completion good for just 3. And that's going to bring up second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
An extra defensive back here for the Bills on third down. Here's a handoff to Swift.
Brad, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was third and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
On first and 10, it's Swift. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a second and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On second down, Swift. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Brandon, that's what you call being manhandled at the point of attack, and I know the offensive line gets a lot of blame for that one, but occasionally the defense just knows what you're going to do. Maybe they scouted it perfectly, maybe someone tipped it off, but on that play, it had no chance.
Hurts. But he missed him, and it's incomplete. And the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. Here's Hurts to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A defensive breakdown allows a pickup of 16 on 4th down. Charles, their first drive of the game, and already they're taking chances here, but they get the 4th down conversion. I'm curious, do you think that that's something they game plan for on the opening drive if it came up, or is that something that happened organically?
I think that they game plan for it, Brandon, and when you think about it, let's just say it. The word analytics is a big part of how everyone looks at a game nowadays, but it's not just the analytics. It's a coach willing to be daring, willing to be bold, and they certainly were there. Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
Right back to Swift again on second down. What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Here's Swift. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
The tackle made at the 3-yard line.
We're scoreless after one.
The end of the first quarter with no score.
Start of the second quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they go to work on a 1st and goal. Here's Swift. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
Quick throw complete. Touchdown, Eagles. Jalen Hurts finding A.J. Brown. And the Eagles post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this second quarter. Well, that drive felt like it took up an eternity. We finally have some action on the scoreboard.
Yeah, but plenty of action prior to, because that drive took up all the first quarter before we spilled into the second, and finally, points were registered.
On the other sideline, they're chomping at the bit just to get the football. Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll elect not to run with it. And a fair catch on the kickoff will move the ball to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. This a quick pass to Davis. And he's taken down, able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
Again, it's Cook. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
We've called a lot of games, but we don't normally talk about inside linebackers being that fleet of foot, do we?
No, he was able to get outside there to make that play.
Yeah, and you know what makes them faster? Their ability to read plays, understand what offenses are trying to do, and put themselves in proper position.
He's got his target. That's complete. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Stephon Diggs, 58 yards. And the Bills are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. The Charles here in their opening series, they said they had certain plays scripted for certain players. That looked like a well-designed play to get one of their top targets involved.
Yeah, let's face it, Brandon. A player of his talent is a problem for any opponent to defend, and we saw it right there. They tried to deny an open lane to him, He still outplayed the coverage and scored the early touchdown. Good luck trying to figure out how to defend him as this game moves on.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. This short throw caught by Goddard. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Ran the perfect defense in this situation. Would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync.
And Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here. 3rd and long. That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A handoff, Swift running to the left. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 79 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this 1st half. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Here's a handoff to Swift running left. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Throwing is Hurts. And it's caught. Touchdown! Devontae Smith on the receiving end for Jalen Hurts. And the Eagles will take the lead here in the final minute of the 1st half.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes this a 14-8 ball game.
Bills 8. Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll elect not to run with it. The fair catch will move this out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the 1st half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. But Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick six.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In case of a defense, they want to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
I got kicked out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
On the ball.
Now Allen again. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he takes us just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. It'll be a gain of 16 for number 16.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick six just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have to have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And the Eagles are going to have it here at their own 15.
At their own 15-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. 1 second, all that remains. Airing it out deep for Smith. Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Bills trail here, but they will get the football first as we are back underway on EA Sports. And from the end zone, Deontay Hardy will bring it out. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, you know, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Good work there. You're going to see on play action, they run an out route with the receiver on the outside and let the tight end work the seam in the area beyond him. A great concept, and it leads to a first.
And Allen going to be intercepted for the third time. Picked off by Reed Blankenship. Inside the 10.
I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team has struggled to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
Suddenly it's first and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Swift going to try up the middle, and he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. One more time with Swift. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
They'll look to throw on third and goal. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on third and goal. Let's see what they do on fourth and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on fourth and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
A 19-yard attempt.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, you know, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally, we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something
Heads up.
to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Kevin Byard. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Hurts sets up to throw it. This is Smith with a grab. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 23 yards on the play.
It's a gain of 23 yards. First down, Eagles.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. They're going to look to throw. He's going to get that to Swift underneath. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the third. From the 9, 2nd and 5. They will run straight ahead with Swift. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team Defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
These guys had to settle for a field goal their last time moving the ball down the field. They may have to do it again on this drive. That could be frustrating.
Yeah, I don't want to be cliche, but at least they were able to get 3 last time. 3 here, not the worst thing in the world. So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the defense able to force the interception, and the offense working their way into field goal range and able to get 3 out of it.
Yeah, and give them credit for that. They took the ball, maneuvered it downfield, and while they couldn't get exactly what they wanted, which was a touchdown, they did get 3 points out of it, so they paid off what the defense gave them. Both sides will be thrilled with that.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Looking to throw. Allen has his man. It's Shakir. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. Looking for Knox on the crossing route. It's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They get 17 more on that one and another 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Throwing on 1st down is Allen. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Picked off by Reed Blankenship. There he goes left side. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick-6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
Elliott good with a PAT, and they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Elliott now to kick this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick-6 put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Allen's throw here taken in by Knox. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Shakir hauls it in. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 38-yard line. 18 yards, a big pickup there on 3rd down. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Allen now looks to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Avonte Maddox. And the Eagles will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. What a night.